Hey, y'all, Elise Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Awesome Podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of three, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, Elise here. Welcome back to the Socially Awesome channel. I am so excited to be bringing you a female entrepreneur that is in the same coaching program as me, and she and I have connected. We have so much in common as far as being moms and in the same space as female entrepreneurs, and Jessica Perry is here with us live today. So thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you here because you and I have chatted a lot over Messenger, and I love just how authentic you are. You know, that's my strategy, is authenticity. I prefer to bring my audience real and realistic things that happen to us as mompreneurs. And I know we were just chatting about that. So I love to have you here today, and you can talk to us a little bit more about discovering your glow.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm also really happy to be here. I think that, for so long, me especially, but I know so many other women feel the pressure to just be everything for everyone. And, being a mom, being a wife, cleaning the house, cooking, going to work, being a full-time employee. And it's just you just feel spread so thin, and you want to portray that you have this perfect life because you think that that's going to attract people. But really, people just want to be seen and heard. So I think that now more than ever, it's important that we connect on a genuine, deeper level and help each other out and be able to support and hold each other up wherever, needed.
I couldn't agree more. I think, I've always been that person that I like transparency, even if it's not aesthetically pleasing, or even if it's not the norm. I like transparency, but even more so after the last 2 years, post-COVID. Everything's going to be post-COVID these days, but
I know.
I do. Life has been nuts the last 2.5 years more than anything. And I don't feel the need to put on a show for other people. And like you said, just being stretched so thin, it's so important to discover that now. So that's going to lead me into my first question. Tell me a little bit about what you do, how you help people, who you serve. I'm all ears for that.
Okay, great. Well, so COVID had a lot to do with it. But I will say that I've been in the retail management industry for a very long time, and I have a team, and I coach them and build them on a daily basis. And I've always believed in being direct and transparent with everybody and trying to help them through their problems, because even if they're not performing at work, something is underlying usually, and it's in their personal life. And we always say don't bring your personal stuff to work, and you kind of have to put on that act in front of customers. But we all live real life, and I've always been connected with people on that level. So I feel that's always kind of where my passion has lied. And I had my daughter 3 years ago, then COVID hit and I lost my job, didn't know what was going to happen, got into network marketing. That's when I started my personal development journey. And I figured out, well, I love helping women, and I love helping them find solutions to make their lives better, more fulfilling, healthier. I love giving advice. I love guiding people. And I just feel that's why I've been so successful in my retail career. So for a while now, I've known this is not where I want to be with the rest of my life. I know there's something bigger for me. I know I'm meant to do something greater. I'm not living up to my potential. So being able to be forced into not having that job and that security really helped me get out of my own way and start to think, yes, I can do something else. I don't have to be stuck in a job that really is not that fulfilling to me. Just because you love something and you're good at it doesn't mean that that's what you have to do with the rest of your life. So that was a big epiphany for me. And so now, after going through umpteen hours of coaching and training and my own journey and doing a lot of digging and self-discovery, I figured out that is my gift for people is to be able to lead them from where they are to where they want to be and bridge the gap in their limiting beliefs and what they think they're capable of and what they think their life could look like. So for me, that is the greatest achievement over the past 3 years post-COVID.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you talked some about their limiting beliefs and mindset, because that's been my own personal experience. I did what I did, social media marketing, in the corporate world for 5.5 years. And between when I left my job in June to now, I haven't really, other than keeping up with the trends, I haven't really learned anything that's going to make me more of an expert in that area. What's changed has been my mindset and that personal development. And I love that you're helping women do that, because, when I left my job, I was very much like, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this. And then as soon as my mindset started flipping, it just all starts falling into place. So it's crazy to me how much our limiting beliefs do turn into tangible results for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And you know what's funny? Someone yesterday said to me, oh, so what I haven't seen her in a while. And she's like, oh, so what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm launching my coaching program in January and this, that. She goes, oh, well, what qualifies you to be a coach? Or like, how are you getting certified? Are you getting trained? And I was like, well, honestly, I've been coaching for 20 years. I've had a team under me. I'm a human. I connect with people on a human level. You can be trained in school to be a therapist or to be a coach or to be something like that. And you have all the textbook qualities, but on the human level, you don't connect with people, and you kind of just like are handing out, advice here and there, or like turning people away, or, like mental health is such an important thing right now. And I see so many people that are certified on paper and have a degree, but are not qualified, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So for
No,
me,
yeah.
I was just like, well, that's funny that people think like, well, how are you qualified for that? Back in the day, it was like, you have to have everything on paper on your resume. And now it's like, it's all basically experience and who you are as a person. So I think you have it in you all along. When your mindset shifts, it starts showing itself, if that makes sense.
Right. And I love that, because your mindset and your own personal drive and, just those qualifications in general turn into value for people. And so I think the fact that, when you're out there and you're going to get coaching clients, how valuable you are to those people is going to be what determines it, not your credentials.
Yeah.
And that's
you're right.
If someone's asking for your credentials, and I'm not saying that's not important, because obviously I don't want a plastic surgeon or a heart surgeon or someone.
You need to know what you're doing for that.
But
right.
You understand what I'm saying, because that's what's going to make you connect with people, is the value you can bring to them. And someone that has the credentials but doesn't have the life experience doesn't have that value. So I love that you brought that to the attention, because that was one of my own limiting beliefs, was what qualifies me to charge for this service, or what qualifies me to raise my prices. And that's it. It's the fact that I am helping people, and I can provide a result, based on my own experiences. So tell me a little bit about some challenges that you've overcome, because that's one thing that I really like to talk about when I'm interviewing other female entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of women that listen to this podcast. A lot of them start in network marketing, just like you and I, and they don't think there's anything else for them, or they're not sure how to create something else for them, or there's some kind of challenge. And often our challenges as moms are our time, our children, our money. I know any extra money I have goes to my children. So, that's something, there's all challenges, but if we're not willing to overcome those challenges, are we ever going to move forward? So share a little bit with us about some challenges that you've overcome, and just some inspiration for some ladies that might be listening.
Yeah, of course. So here's my whole thing is women are multifaceted. People in general are multifaceted. So you don't have to love just one thing. You can love multiple things and share multiple things. So people like to put themselves in a box where, and I was there too, where I was just like, well, I can only promote this one thing. And then I wasn't seeing as much success with it. And I was like, well, I can't quit, because it's going to mean that maybe I wasn't aligned with it. So I've been through a couple of different companies until I found the right fit for me. And that doesn't make me feel like any less of a person or a jumper from company to company, because people that know me know that I give really great service. I'm invested. I follow up with them. No matter what company I'm with, they follow me. And I like to really give that personal touch to people. And I just feel like maybe 2 years ago, maybe before I started the coaching program, I just was kind of like, there would be peaks and valleys. And I think we still all have those. Even the most successful people some days are probably wondering like, why am I doing this? Like, I think that always just creeps back into your mind. So the time thing is definitely a factor, because I work 4 days a week in New York City. And I have a 3-year-old, a 14-year-old. The 14-year-old has therapy she goes to, and other, doctors and things I need to bring her back and forth to. And some days, you could put everything on your calendar. You could plan everything down to like the last detail of when you eat lunch. And all of a sudden one thing could just ruin your whole day. And so it really is just learning to pivot, learning to not beat yourself up, give yourself grace, and just bounce back from it and just say like, okay, like, what is the most important thing for me to get done right now? Let me get that done and be happy with that. And just like, let the rest go, like bless and release. Let me get back to business the next day with whatever I couldn't get done today. But really just the reason I always bring myself back to the reason I got into this, and that's to spend more time with my family and my daughters, and have something for myself and show them how to build something for themselves too. So I always kind of bring myself back to that. If I'm working all these hours and my head's down on my phone and my daughter's there tugging on my shirt, like, I want mommy. And I'm like, no, I'm busy. That's kind of the same thing I was doing in the retail world, where I just wasn't there for her every single moment of the day. So learning how to balance it and learning priorities, I think, is the most important thing. And of course, not giving up, but also not thinking that, oh, I don't want to give up, so I'm going to keep going if it's not the right thing for you. So I think for me, the biggest learning experience was when I'm feeling something in my gut, I should listen to it and figure out why it's coming up. Like, what is bringing that to the forefront? Maybe I'm not aligned with something that I'm doing. Maybe there is something different or better out there for me, or maybe I need to adjust my strategy. So I think learning how to pivot is like one of the most important things, and jumping into it without fear. Like, I was telling somebody yesterday, they were like afraid to jump into this. Somebody else like hooked me up with her because she was like, I want her to join the company, but she came from this other company that you used to be with. So I want you to just like share your experience with her. And I said, the biggest thing I can tell you is just jump into it. Don't be afraid, because we think we have to have everything perfect and know our strategy and know all the how before we start doing what we want to do. When the fact of the matter is, I might be doing something totally different than I'm doing now in a year from now, but I wouldn't have gotten there unless I started. So just to kind of jump in, start, put yourself out there, and you can adjust and evolve. And people are going to follow you based on the fact that you're a genuine person that they find value in.
I love that. I love that. And so many good things there, because I can't even.
It's hard to shove all of my 3 years into one little podcast interview.
I know, but I mean, just so much right there. And the fact that, like you said, you jumped on a call with another lady and just to try to help, and it just shows that you are helping people, and collaboration over competition, and just I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit, because like I said, my audience out there, a lot of them are in network marketing and they're looking to find, a little bit more than network marketing. Tell me about how you kind of got started with the idea of coaching programs. If you, I know that, like I said, we're on the same coaching program. So tell me, have you always had a coach? Did you just know you needed a little extra accountability? Like what? Because I know there's listeners out there, and some of them might want to work with you. So what told you, hey, I need a coach?
So I've always believed in therapy, and I've always believed in talking to somebody else. And I'm big on communication, and I'm big on, if you have a problem, you talk about it, you get it out, you figure out ways to fix it. You don't just hold it all inside. So I went back to school actually to be a child psychologist several years ago. And I only went for one semester because I was with my husband at the time. He was my boyfriend, and a stepdaughter, and I was new to the relationship, and it was only a couple months in, and I wasn't able to spend any time with them. And I was like, well, just doesn't make sense for my lifestyle right now with working full time and trying to go back to school full time and having a family. So I kind of just had to like cut it out. And I was like, I've always had that pull towards coaching and guiding and leading people and giving them advice. So I stayed in the retail world for longer than I probably should, because that fulfilled my coaching and my interaction with people and my, personalized guidance for people. So when I started going into network marketing and building a team, I was just like, I'm not where I want to be. I think I need another step. Like, I don't know how to, something's missing. I don't want to follow everybody else that says, oh, message 100 people a day and post all your products all over your page. And you have to be a product of the product and only use that product. And, like, I don't believe in that. I believe that you attract people to you for you, and then the products are just like a secondary. So I wanted to figure out how to get that strategy down, like, and make it a real thing and a real business, not just me slinging products. You know what I mean? Like, you're only going to run through your warm market and then have nowhere to go. So how do I reach new people? How do I put myself out there without cold messaging or, posting my stuff all over the place? So I wanted to learn how to do it the right way. So I hired coaches and I worked with them for a couple months before I got introduced to Kimberly. And I was like, I know I need this because I'm just not getting where I want to be. And just something in my gut was telling me this is the coaching program you need to get to where you want to be. Like, it's expensive and it feels uncomfortable to me because that's a lot of money. But what is the downside? Like, if I don't do it, I'm going to stay stuck in this place. And then I'm guaranteeing myself I'm not going to make more money. I'm guaranteeing myself I'm not going to grow. If I go into this, the worst thing that could happen is, okay, I make more money, but I don't get anything out of it. Like, that's not going to happen. So I knew, just do it. You're not going to be sorry. Rip it off like a Band-Aid. It's an investment in yourself. And I've been working on my money mindset ever since. So that's been evolving also. And that's something I wouldn't have gotten without Kimberly's training too. So I think that when you can get somebody to step outside of yourself, you can do as much introspective thinking and self-reflection that you want. But sometimes it takes an outside person to see what you don't, and how you can adjust that and how you can bring new ideas to the table. And so it might be something that you've thought of before, but you've never implemented. Getting that second person to really push you and give you the steps and the strategies to do it is like, it's like why you get a personal trainer at the gym. Like, if I'm going to the gym and I'm just doing random exercises on machines and I don't have any direction because that's not my thing, then I'm like, I don't know if this is really working or I'm seeing results. But if you have a trainer and they tell you, we know what exercises to do in what order and you're going to see results, sign me up. Okay. So like, that's how I feel about coaching, is like, every coach needs a coach. Every therapist needs a therapist. Every doctor needs a doctor. Like, we can't do everything for ourselves. We need someone else to see from the outside.
I love that. I love it so much. And I love the gym analogy.
I tell that people all the time. If I could have a chef, I would too.
No, but I appreciate you saying that, because I know there's a lot of women that think, I have a scarcity mindset that I've been working on. And they very much think, well, I could do all of that on my own. I probably could, but you have time or you have money. You're going to spend one or the other. So do you want to spend 10 years figuring it out on your own, making all the mistakes? Because those mistakes will probably cost you more than just getting the coaching, honestly. So I think
also, it's like, if you do the coaching, you know that you're going to figure out the how. And I think that for me, it was always a scarcity mindset where I was like, oh, I could do it myself, but then I was driving myself nuts. So it started to become, for me, it was either burn out, get frustrated, keep going through these peaks and valleys where you feel like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I'm hitting a wall. Maybe I don't really have what it takes to get there, or people aren't following me. What am I doing wrong? And trying different strategies. And then you want to go, oh, I'm going to go over to TikTok, and then I'm going to do Reels, and then I'm going to do my LinkedIn. And you start putting your hand in every single thing all at once, and you get nothing done because everything's all over the place and you feel stressed out and you're like, forget it. So for me, it was either mental peace and clarity, or keep doing what you're doing, keep the little bit of money that you have, and guarantee yourself you won't make more. So it's like, I'd rather go with this route, like knowing that it's going to grow me. If nothing else, if I grow myself from that program and nothing else changes, I'm happy with that, because I'm a totally different person than I was before the coaching. Like a 180. I can't even express how it's changed my life.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So I want to make sure that my audience knows how they can work with you and get in touch with you. I know you've got some things coming, some things launching, a quiz perhaps that would help people know what they need to work on and how they can work with you. So tell me a little bit about your community that you have called Discover Your Glow, so that way they know how they can work with you and get connected with you.
Yeah, so I have a group called Discover Your Glow. It's my private community on Facebook, and we talk about all things personal development, sprinkle in some things with skincare, beauty, self-care, all things that are going to help enhance people's lives and make them feel more confident and beautiful. I also am launching my coaching program officially in January. So that's going to provide women group coaching and one-on-ones to work on their personal development. And for me, I didn't know what I needed to work on. Like I've always been very introspective, but it's hard sometimes to admit to yourself what you need to work on and what's staring at you in the face. And like, you need someone to kind of put that there for you. So I've developed a quiz. It's launching shortly. So if you join my community, you will get access to it the second it drops. And what it's going to do is it's going to teach you, or it's going to ask a bunch of questions and kind of guide me to be able to understand where to go or what you need to work on. So it uncovers some of the blockages. It can help figure out some of those limiting beliefs and, what areas you want to grow in.
I love that, because I think a quiz is perfect. Most people don't know what their limiting beliefs are. And if you're prompting them with questions, that's going to help do that discovery. So I absolutely love that, because I would have told you, I wouldn't have known about.
I'm fine. I love my life. It's great.
Yeah,
and then when you start picking things apart, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I know. And I wouldn't have known about how bad my scarcity mindset was if I wouldn't have done some work on money mindset and things like that. So I love that. So I highly recommend anyone that's watching or listening, depending on where you're seeing this, you jump and Discover Your Glow. I'm excited for her to drop this. I'm excited for where you are going. I've loved connecting with you over.
Me too. Thank you.
And I just love how relatable you are. We talked a few minutes before this started about our kids running in, and but we are a proof that you don't have to give up on your dreams just because you're a mom. And building something as an entrepreneur is building something for your children, not building someone else's dream. So I know it's hard as a mom for us to make time to do it and to put ourselves first to do it, but I think it's so important. And I mean, I've only been doing this full time for 5.5 months, but it's been more and more evident to me. And I know the same for you. You're ready to take that leap and be in that role. And I'm excited to watch you do it. So
thank you.
Is there anything else you want my audience to know before we finish?
No, I just want to say, like, whatever your belief about yourself, I used to be that person that was really self-conscious, just thought, well, I don't have the body to be a model or an actress. I don't have the personality to be an actress. Like, those are some of the things I wanted to be when I wanted to be a dancer. I didn't have the body for it. Like all these things that you compare yourself to other people. You need to not compare yourself to other people, but just compare yourself to the day before. Like, how are you growing as a person? Are you someone that you'd be proud to be friends with? And if not, you really want to look at, like, who are you trying to impress? Like, I was always trying to be this person that everybody would like and tone myself down. Oh, you're too loud, or you're too bold, or you're too blunt, or you're too direct. And I would take that and I would internalize it. So I became this kind of robotic person that just kind of went through the motions in life. And I wasted so many years just feeling less than and feeling like, why would anybody want to talk to me? And one of the biggest things I noticed, and this is huge, but every time I would walk into work from my car to the store, I would have my head down and I would just be looking down walking. And so I would notice that and be like, I think I'm like ashamed of myself. Like I'm afraid to have other people see me for me, And so I noticed it and started walking with my head up, just smiling and looking at everybody with eye contact on purpose to force myself out of my comfort zone and just start living that confidence, and I think that it's not some magic trick that other people have of why they're so successful or why they're so confident. It's just a decision that they made, and they worked really hard on their mindset to get there. So anything is possible. Anybody can change their circumstances. It might take you a little bit longer than someone else, but that's okay. Go at your own pace, run your own race, and just decide. That's the biggest thing that you can do, is just decide you want to change.
I love that. Decide you want to change. And I love people that take action. So I'm all about a decision.
Rip it off like a Band-Aid.
I know, rip it off, rip it off. Well, I want to thank you again so much for being here with me today. I'm so excited to watch you and to be a part of your community and discover my own glow. So thank you so much. And
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. And for anyone that's listening or watching, like I said, we run this on multiple platforms. So depending on where you are, make sure you check the show notes or the comments. Jessica's information will be there for you to connect with her. Her links will be there. She has a link tree set up that has multiple ways for you to book calls with her, work with her. And then, of course, her Facebook community will also be in the show notes for you to be able to get in there. You want to be in there before she launches, or be the first to know when she launches this quiz, because I think it's going to be epic. So thank you so much. And until next time, I can't wait to hear more about your story. And for everyone that's watching, I'll see y'all on Tuesday for Quick Tip Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Elise Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience, and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.